Well, we are here, but I need to do one more thing.
And just in case you don't know where you are, here is on Innervision FM with Johnnie J and Alan C. Yeah, see? Yeah, see? Happy
Oh,
Tuesday,
yeah.
everybody.
Oh my God.
That's who we love and who we serve, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to talk about Queen Esther tonight.
Yes.
We're going to talk about Donald Trump's first year in office.
Ah, yes. I love it. I love it. Some good conversation.
But I want to say one thing to the American people. I want you to listen to me. I'm going to say this again.
No.
I did not.
No, no, no.
How dare you?
No more lies. No more lies. No more lies.
Running out. Hi everybody, this is the Godfather, Soul James Brown. I tell you, just for this is on. My man is on. Check him out. This is the Godfather, Soul James Brown saying stay with it and hit it.
All right. Well, thank you, people. Thank you, our studio audience. I think the Gutfield show doesn't have as many studio audience as we do. And it's kind of, have you ever seen a show on Fox at 9 o'clock in the evening?
I
Gutfield?
do watch the guy. He's a good commentator. He's got some he's got some really hilarious stuff. That poor lady that he picks on all the time, man, she's
Cat.
a real good sport. Cat.
Yes, she is. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, hey, before I forget, hey, give us a thumbs up and share the show. And I know I was supposed to let our lady know that we were going on live because some people say like, tell me when you're going live, and I said sometimes I remember and sometimes I don't. I said because I didn't send out a announcement today saying our show is coming up, but so hopefully everybody knows.
Even so, it being these trying times that we find ourselves in, even if we were to send out some of these notifications, your best bet is to go ahead and set your notifications to all. This way, you'll always know when we are about ready to go live or start a live broadcast.
Yeah, definitely. So hopefully you guys you smash that all the time. And
smash that like button, share it if you can, and subscribe. Tell all your friends. We, in addition to helping to promote grassroots musicians, whether they be financially challenged or physically disabled, in addition to that, we kind of give a window into a blind person's soul as to the current events and the state of our state, as it were.
Yes, and a lot of things that have happened. I saw this. What was it? What was it? Oh! I saw some interesting things. I was listening to what is this guy's name? Hugh Hewitt show this morning, and I heard this coach, who's a basketball coach, and I guess he was talking to the press, and I love it when people have read the Old Testament and they tell you like the things that they've learned. And I thought about the book of Esther and the times that we're living in now, and it's so cool that he brought that up during the conference, and he just put it in a very concise package, and he told the reporters, and that probably you don't hear that much because of the secularism of the news media, the schools, or society, but it was just so cool that he said, "Yeah, I'm going to support the, I have a player that says for every some kind of shot that she makes, basketball, that she's going to donate $10." And he says, I'm gonna go along with her. I'm aboard with that, and but he just relayed that story that, we are here, and you I think you even said this, Alan. We are here at this time for a reason. This is the time for us to be effective during this time, because every generation gets like 100 years to do something positive or negative.
Absolutely. I think the vernacular that a lot of Christians like to use, especially for this time, is such a time as this. We are born for such a time as this, and that kind of thing. And that's absolute truth. There does come along once in a few generations, if not once every generation, a time of great need and a famine in the land, as it were. Now, as far as for the Old Testament, just a little setup and a little backstory. Tell us a little bit about the book of Esther, Johnny.
Yeah, now it's about this Jewish prince. She was married, and nobody really knew that she was Jewish. And the king put out an edict telling all the people that they wanted them to go and kill the Jews.
That's
all the Jews.
Right. That's absolutely
And
right.
so,
Now,
go ahead.
go ahead.
Well, her I think it was her uncle said, he went to go see her and said, okay, even though you may live through this, but eventually they're going to find out that you're a Jew, and they're going to come after you. So basically, what are you going to do about this? And she says, well, I can't go to the king without him calling for me, or that means certain death. Well, he says, pray about it and let God lead you to do the right thing. And if you don't just be a silent witness to a massacre. And the story goes from there.
Absolutely. It's a very fascinating book in the Old Testament. It's right near the beginning, as a matter of fact, of the Old Testament. So I would encourage, if someone is of a mind, to go ahead and take a look at this book, because there are some very interesting parallels between what we've got going nowadays. Let's say you are a Democrat, somebody on the left, and you truly thought that you were doing the right and good and patriotic thing by helping to make sure that our current commander-in-chief, commander-in-chief, sorry, did I say that commander-in-chief part? Sorry. I honestly think, that this parallel can be drawn here. Now, maybe you don't agree with some of these policies that he is setting forth, but you don't want to tell anybody anything, because certainly you don't want to ostracize any of your friends. You don't want to cancel any of the. Now you're seeing for yourself the cancellation that has taken place among your friends nowadays, not just the folks on the right. And so you don't want to speak out. You don't want to get involved. You want to just kind of sit on the sidelines, sort of see how it happens to shake out. And I would submit that time has passed. This is not a spectator sport. And if you enjoy the policies of our current, most highly esteemed and very popular president, why, get in there, help him out, do your thing. I mean, you can't help the way that you're made any more than the way that I can help the way that I'm made. So therefore, I don't happen to so much agree or subscribe to some of these policies and mandates and edicts and things like this that are coming out of the current White House administration. So, I have no choice but to get involved at the local, at the state, and at the federal level as much as possible, and to encourage others to do the same thing. And that's why, Johnny, I've got to really congratulate you, because you know, you've actually just taken the bull by the horns and decided to go ahead and accept this nomination for District Number 5 in Denver to run for
The
the
house,
House.
yeah.
So that's interesting. Stay tuned, folks. There'll be lots of information coming across with regard to that. Now, the reason why I'm mentioning all this now, Johnny, is there are certain rules and certain points of decorum that have to be followed so that you are within compliance of certain things, and so therefore I'm just some regular Joe. I'm a cog in a wheel. I don't even take payment or any of this kind of thing currently, uh, you know, by any of this stuff that we're doing. And I'm doing this because it is necessary to support your friends, to support your colleagues, to support your neighbors. And if necessary, if they happen to have knowledge and understanding of the way that legislation works, how it's formed, and how it works within a United States constitutional framework, I would encourage anybody and everybody to get their friends and their neighbors involved. That's just a sidetrack, and I'm sorry, Johnny, I didn't.
No, well, you
put
know what?
that on.
And I just got a note from the people because uh, one of the things, and I'm going to get some background on this too. They had all of us make a recording saying that what our name was, what we were running for at Senate or House, and if we were Republican or not. And at first he said it was for the deaf, but I looked at this and I said, why would a deaf person need a recording? So I understood that being a sighted person, he didn't know that I was probably one of the only only blind person maybe running as a Republican, maybe, but it's not many of us out there. There's more of the blind Democrats out there running. So I sent back a email saying, no worries. I knew that you meant recording because I'm blind myself, and I did the LOL. Now the next party says, because I was going to accept donations because put out handbills and stuff like that. But he says it's better not to do that so you don't have to have a tracking on
Exactly.
your. And so I'm going to take off the donation button on the website. It is up and running. So it's just Johnny J for Colorado House District 5.com. So it is up there. So I'm going to take off the donation button. But I do need volunteers. And I said about 20. And I listed up there the different things that I would need the volunteers to do. Because my opponent, Alex Valdez, he went out and knocked on 10,000 doors. Well,
Yes.
I want to knock on 20,000 or 40,000 doors in my district. And there's about I think they said there's 90,000 people in my district. So yeah, I want to hit it hard and I'm out to win it, and be there for the people, elected by the people, for the people. So anyway, so yes, so let me share a little bits of the behind the scenes things as we go along.
So if somebody wanted to volunteer, how would they do that? Would they hit you up at your email address at info@innervisionfm.com in the
Yes,
subject line, I want to be a volunteer for your
yeah,
campaign? How does it
right.
work?
And then of course they went to the website. My partner Peter, my web guy, he's already set it up there. And now I have a picture up there now. He says take another picture without your earbuds, and because I was at a concert, and
Right, right.
I had my suit and tie on and everything. But he says, hey, if you're serious, you got to take out your earbuds. And I said, man, I didn't even know I had the earbud. Man, this guy is very observant.
Right.
So I'm gonna go ahead and take another picture, and then put it up there. But right now, screenshot it and say I saw you with those earbuds in your ears. Oh, that'd be my opponent saying, how can you run for this when you had earbuds on your campaign picture, something like that. But it's going to be interesting. I'm looking forward to do the debate. I've seen two of his debates, and it was like the last one. The lady, she was thinking, but it sounded like she was so nervous, and I think she's never been on TV before. But since me and you, man, we could do it, with our hands tied behind our hands. But public speaking in front of a camera is it's not for the faint of heart.
Oh no, man! The hot lights that you have to endure from, well, actually, probably technologically speaking, things have gotten a little bit better. But man, the old style cameras and the lights that they had to set up back in the days, man, that's probably partially why I'm bald, folks.
Oh, and I got to remind people to go to this website. I didn't put it in my screen, which I should have. It's called useip.org, and it just talks about voter integrity and how we're going to be fighting against that non-integrity before this year's election. And one of the stories I heard from one of the ladies was she went to an apartment complex, and there were all the people that she was looking for weren't there. Then she went to a senior citizen home. This is in Colorado, and the lady who they said voted couldn't even pronounce her name, let alone vote for this Democrat. So she found a lot of anomalies, like addresses being in an empty parking lot, or hotels getting a bunch of ballots. So I know the Democrat Party wants to say there's no there, but go there and they'll show you some videos and talk to you about how they discovered this information. So it's useip.org, and I'll be putting it in our descriptions here pretty soon. It'll be one of our hashtags.
It's interesting. I have to wonder whether it's okay to talk about these things, or if you have to use code, like you for the last year or so, when you would go and our benevolent overlords at YouTube would go ahead and monitor via either personally watching somebody's channel or with the algorithms. So oftentimes, even touching on these subjects would be difficult. Now, as we reach the midterm election, midterms, these are going to be even more and more important, even as information gets suborned or stolen and misappropriated and used in real spurious practices, half-truths, twisted, all kinds of stuff. There's going to be, a possibility for that kind of thing. So,
But I'm on Getter too. So if they take me down off of Twitter, because I heard they've been taking some high rollers down from Twitter. The one who denied calling somebody something that they weren't. And having them compete in sports, that was taken out. And then I think Kurt Cobain, not Kurt Cobain, that's another guy, but his name is Kurt. His name is Kirk. He's one of our talk show hosts. His Twitter was taken down too. So just keep speaking out, and it's always big news when the big guys do it. It's not so much big news when us little guys get the hit. But like I said, we're on the other platforms as well. And that's why you should sign up for our email newsletter so you can always know where we are. Don't wait until the last minute.
Absolutely, because the bottom line is our benevolent overlords at YouTube may not always be around, and of course things will evolve and things will change over time. And so therefore, social media platforms will do the same. True Social is up and this kind of thing for the conservative and also for the non-conservative. The idea being that there be a fair and free space to exchange ideas and information.
Hmm.
So yeah,
All right.
what else did you want to cover? We had a bunch of topics on deck.
But the main thing, we looked at the first 11 days of Biden, and I sort of want to like for people who have amnesia. One thing I saw on Alex Valdez, he was repeating the lies that the left keeps telling about Trump. And so I found this document, and I didn't find it on Google. I found this on Start Page. It's a web search, and I guess you could probably find it on DuckDuckGo as well. But I use this search engine called Start Page because sometimes Google will give you the half truth, or maybe it'll put it down so far that you have to keep going down, 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 down until you find it. But Start Page, it has it right up there in front, and it doesn't change the truth of things like Google does. Oh, by the way, Google, I heard that you were having problems finding black employees, and this one lady who you fired, she came in and she found 500 black employers, and because she made a suggestion on how you can do this job better in finding talented, I guess, minority workers, you didn't like it, so you fired her. And I wonder if they're doing the same thing with us blind people, because it's saying like, well, we can't find any blind people that are qualified. And then a blind person comes in and who's a tech person says, oh, I just found him right here. And at the Federation meeting, I found him. So
Yeah, that's an interesting point that you bring up. There is a unemployment rate in the blind community.
7%.
Some people say it's 70%. Some people say it's as high as 90%. The bottom line is 7 out of 10 people who are sighted and able to, quote, normally make a living, or 9 out of 10 if you folks were unemployed like that, there would be some interesting consequences. At least that's what I used to think until this last 2 years when everything shut down, and when everything started back up, and I saw people really literally deny good paying jobs, same jobs that I'm applying for and I'm being turned down for, and they'll just deny them out of hand. It makes me tired. It just makes me tired.
Yeah. And so after looking at I think this Bandido has been installed for 11 months, if not just a little bit more. So we want to go back and look at the 11 months that our fearless leader, President Trump, was in office, and some of the things that he did in the first 11 months, where this Bandito, Brandon, was signing executive orders to turn back things. This guy was moving ahead to make America great again. So
let's go through a few of these really quick, and I will, as you're going through the list of what President 45 did accomplish in his first 11 months or so in office, a year in office, I'll kind of counterbalance that with some of the things that I've kind of observed over the last little bit of our latest administration.
yes. Okay. So you want to do the first one?
Sure, why not? So
Okay.
let's take the first one right now. This is an interesting one because it deals with some current events that are going on these days. Last June, our current elected president handed over a list.
Mhm.
He
And
gave a list.
we started at number 10, and we were going down to from 10 to 1.
Yeah, right. But
So number 10.
but I'm going in reverse. See?
Oh, okay. Let me
my-
get down. Let me get down where you are. Okay. Okay.
So this is my number one, and this is to do with our opponent, I guess. Currently, we're sending a bunch of military aid and some money and things like this on over to a place where, well, whether you believe or whether you don't believe it needs to go there is immaterial. The leader of that country has been given a list of all of the sites that are vulnerable to us to not hit via cyber attack. So I think there's 16 on that list. He didn't even, last June, when our president announced that he gave this list over, he didn't even have the list in front of him of companies and organizations to not hit. Don't hit our water, don't hit our infrastructure, don't hit our this, don't hit our that. But I don't even have a list of the stuff that I even told this dude not to hit. So that's got to be first on the list for me. And I debated on putting that as number 10, but man, this has got to be the first for me. I mean, if you want to live in a country where and there's so many more. What do you got, Johnny?
Okay, how he installed a lot of conservative judges and different circuit courts, federal courts. He was going out a record number. I think he got up to about 300. And I know some of the some people on the left was saying, "Oh, they're all white supremacists and all that kind of stuff." But please get out of here. They all are constitutional, abiding judges, and those laws were left unfilled by the previous administration. But at record speeds, they were confirming some very good conservative judges. So
basically, sum that up. Whereas 45 was building an infrastructure of judicial security for America for a generation, our current president was handing over target sites to not cyber attack. So that's number 1 on the list. What do we got next, Johnny? Do you want to go next, or do you want me to take the next?
Oh, go ahead. You go for
All
that.
right, let's see what we got here. We got the latest Supreme Court pick. She is quite a barrel of fun. She likes, and she apparently has a soft spot for folks who offend. And I don't want to go any further.
Yeah.
But it's very fascinating. You can check out some of her stuff. You'll have to dig because it's not something
they got it buried. They got it buried good.
Yeah, they got it buried good. So, what do you got?
Also, we got here. Okay, there was a lot of regulations smothering our economy.
Right.
And he removed a lot of those EPA things that were getting in the way on the gas and oil smothering regulations. Now, okay, and I heard once again Alex Valdez, who is now in the House 5. I heard him saying that, well, we don't want houses blowing up because they're fracking for oil. And we did have an incident where oil gas got into a basement and it exploded. That's just making sure that the people who are doing the fracking, they are, I guess, either enough away from like residential areas, or just making sure that they, without regulations, without doing things that will impede us becoming oil and gas independent, that won't impede that, but get the product out in as safest and cleanest way as we can. But he took down a lot of regulations, and there's a lot of regulations. Do you know it costs $5,000 to get a license just to cut hair?
Yes, actually, I do know that. I've got a friend that went through cosmetology school. She was quite surprised when she went to open her own shop. She had to pay $5,000 for a license to go ahead and do that.
Yeah. So I mean, this is just a money grab from politicians, and we conservatives must push back on that and get rid of a lot of these fees for for things like that. It's not like they're going into for brain surgery. All
The
right.
regulations were designed to keep us keeping people safe and designed to help us to color within the line, so to speak. And somewhere along the way, they got out of control, as oftentimes political things do. And so when Donald Trump was talking about removing, for every new regulation that wanted to be put into existence, he wanted two of the old ones removed. From his point of view, I believe he was trying to cut away the waste. Some of those additional fees that you were talking about there for the hair cutting and whatnot.
Now, if anybody lives in Atlanta, my daughter is down there. She's working at this store, and it's pretty much like a 7-Eleven, but it's the Atlanta, Georgia 7-Eleven. And I guess she went there, and I guess they have some rules about, like, if you find that there are roaches in your store, you're supposed to eliminate those roaches. And she said one of the managers, saw, like, a few roaches running around, and she said she was almost ready to quit, but she said, no, let me stay and let me fix this rather than run away from it. So, so hands out to the whistleblowers that, the stores will be regulated within. Either somebody from within will be a whistleblower. Now my daughter, she's too chickens, SSH, to be one of the whistleblowers. Because I said, come on, I said, make a video, make it go viral. But she said, no, and so not everybody will step up to the plate, and you may be eating a roach with your nachos soon.
Little extra protein there for you folks, and a little incentive sometime to perhaps look at going vegan. I don't know.
Oh well. All right.
I will say this, dude: my food poops on your food.
So that's definitely, and so when he removed those regulations, it was like removing like Obama's these job smothering regulations that Obama put in, being that he's such a hater of small businesses and growth of jobs in America. So it unleashed economic growth.
Through. Where are we sitting at here?
Number three.
Number 3, Joe Biden, our illustrious president, Brandon. Sorry, he was instrumental in talking about weaponry that could be used against the American people if we didn't like certain things and we got too uppity. He talked about B-52s being used against. It would sure be. I'd love to have that quote because I don't want to get it wrong. I don't want to get it wrong. But if you were to use our good friend Google right now and search B-52 Joe Biden, you get to see what I'm talking about, folks. And you can use Google to do this one.
And remember the Afghanistan debacle. Trump, this is part of number 3. He reversed Obama's thing where they could have, if they had contact with someone shooting at them, they had to call in to the base to find out if they could shoot back. So he reversed that and said, hey, if you're in a situation where they're shooting at you, you take any means possible to go after them and let's see. Yeah, okay. So so this is pretty much what the Russians are doing now with the Ukraine thing. They have one central director. So when the guys are out there in the field, and some of these guys are 18 and 20 years old, they have to look to the central lieutenant or captain, whatever, before they do anything. They can't improvise by themselves, and pretty much they don't know what they're doing anyway, right? So So President Trump just took that out. Say, if you're out there in the field, you better know how to engage in tactics against people that are shooting at you, trying to blow you up, better than just waiting, calling back to Washington, and then seeing what they say to do. And Benghazi is a good picture of that, when they were calling and saying, "Hey, we need help," and no help came because I guess Hillary said, "Oh, let's see how it would be to get a few of our guys murdered." I don't know. I don't know what she was doing, but she wasn't doing the job. Anyway, that's an extra.
You remember this, but we came, we saw, they died kind of quote. I just, man, and that laugh, it'll be burned into my memory forever. And they can take it down, they can remove it, they can bury it all they want. But I have a long memory. And anyway, so there's lots more
Lots more.
on our list. And if you like these kinds of topics, hit us up 720-324-7278 with your comments verbally. Go ahead and hit us up at info@innervisionfm.com, and in the subject line, just kind of, tell us what type of topics you would like to see covered,
Right.
and drop a comment. Don't forget to drop a comment down below.
And we only got through 5 of them, but we like to keep it short and let you guys talk about this. And like I said, go to the start page and then look up the 10 things that President Trump did in the first 11 days. And then you can look up even more, and stop listening to all the propaganda that the left-wing news media is telling you, because they are liars. So we're going to call it a night, and leave those comments and we'll respond within 24 hours. All right.